Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is David Hanlon, aka the Laptop Legend, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the best stocks to be watching for tomorrow. If you guys are not in my Discord yet, definitely check it out down below because today I was calling out plays left and right. MITI is going absolutely insane. It is now up to 42 cents. That's where it closed at. I'm still holding my 50,000 shares. If we get another dip, man, I'm adding so hard on this thing because we just got some crazy news. I'm gonna talk about that in just a second. There were also a ton of other plays that are going to be in play tomorrow. The dip buys will not stop. I mean, we had so many of them today, and it's just a market you cannot afford to miss out on because these opportunities will not be like this forever. The market will not be this hot forever, and if you miss out on this now, it's gonna be rough during those slower periods when you're trying to force trades. So you really gotta take advantage of what is going on right now, and I wanna help you guys with that. So with that being said, let's dive into the charts so you guys can be prepared for tomorrow and make sure that you don't miss out on any of these easy gains. All right, guys, so I'm here at my computer, and this is the daily chart for TSNP, and let me just ask you guys, can you take a quick guess where you think I bought this stock? No one? Oh, it's because I'm making a video and you guys can't respond to me. Okay, well, let me show you. I bought it right here. And I didn't even time this well, man. I still messed up the bounce. I need to have more patience on these bounce plays. I'm working on selling half into the choppiness and then trying to hold the rest a little bit longer. And I did that better later in the day, so we'll talk about that in a second. But I bought this here, right on this dip. I alerted this in the Discord, and it bounced all the way here. We had another nice dip here. I didn't buy this one. Ended up not getting in here because I thought it could crack a little bit more, but it ended up going on a nice little run. It closed right at the high of the day, man. Right at the high of the day. High of the day was right in that area, 48 cents. And I mean, I think it made a new high if I'm not mistaken. So, whew, this one is going to be insane, man. If we go this 3-month chart, it really smashed through that resistance here and continued on up, man. At this point, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. I would be hesitant personally to hold this very long term at this price range if you don't currently have a position, because I feel like this could see a major dip buying opportunity. And maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe this thing never comes back down. But I personally could easily see this thing falling 15 cents in a day. We get a day like this day, or like this day when it broke under 10 cents. And this is gonna be such a golden dip buying opportunity. And that is what I'm looking for on this stock, because the best dip buying opportunities come from when it cracks support that people who are holding, medium term expect to hold, because then they're questioning themselves and then they end up panic selling, which makes it drop even farther. And the farther it drops, the more of a potential it has to bounce. So if it cracks through support at 40 cents, it cracks through support at 35 cents and at 30 cents and goes all the way down to 25 cents, man, that would be absolutely ideal. I would look to get a very large position if that happens. So that's what I'm waiting for on this one. If not, I'm content to keep smashing these intraday buys, because I mean, I literally make money on this every day, and you can see I'm barely taking any size on this. But I'm now at the point, thanks to MITI, where I am over 25K, so I may, at some point in the future, near future, switch my account over to a margin account, at least limited margin, because that's all you can do with a Roth IRA. And at that point, I would be able to have all my buying power. If I buy 7K and sell 7K, I would immediately get that 7K back, which might be extremely helpful, because then I could take more size on these dips that are so predictable. So be looking for that. MITI. Well, actually, real quick on TSNP, I just want to talk about the fact that if we go here, you can see the market cap for this stock right now is $1.866 billion market cap. And what are the revenues? We don't really know at this point. They might have zero revenues at this point. We don't get audited financials until Q2, so I feel like this run might be a little bit overextended for what the stock has currently shown us. And again, I really think this company is going to do well in the future, but at this point, it might be a little bit overvalued. And if we get a small correction and then scare people who are holding, medium term, and it cracks even more past that, we could see a really nice panic dip buy. So that's the reason that I'm looking for that, because again, it's a $1.86 billion market cap with no revenues to speak of. So now talking about MITI, you can see here, this was filed today, this morning, and that's part of what caused this run up. You can see here that the CEO purchased 3.4 almost 3.5 million shares of the common stock with his personal funds. Again, Lawrence Diamond, Larry Diamond, that is my boy, the CEO of MITI, and he believes in it so much that he's willing to buy another 3.5 million shares of the common stock with his personal funds. So if you don't think that means something, I don't know how to help you, because no CEO is gonna buy that many shares of a company that they don't expect to go up. That's all I'm saying. So I really think this thing is going to continue to go up, and that's why I'm not selling any, man. I mean, this is my biggest unrealized profit day that I've had in trading, and I took 0 profits. And I mean, could this see another pullback? Yeah, absolutely could. But at this point, we're getting news. We are getting catalysts. Before this 1,000% run from 2 to 20 cents, that was on no news. I mean, there was no news released in this period, but now we've had two newses released in this period. And I expect more to keep coming. And if that's the case, we could see dollars a lot sooner than I was thinking before. And I'm not gonna be selling any of this if it continues to grind up. If we get a multi-100% run, which could happen based on the float, if we get that in one day, I will probably take some off the table and look to increase my position on a dip. So say if this runs from 42 cents to $1.50 tomorrow, I'd probably look to sell half of my shares and then get back in more on the dip. But I am not selling 100% of my shares because you never know if it's just gonna keep running past where you sold. And if this thing runs to $1.50, I sell all my shares, then it runs to $5, I'm gonna be really mad at myself. So for that reason, I'm gonna be holding no matter what, but I will sell some if we get a really big spike. But if it just keeps grinding up, I will probably just keep holding my shares. And if we get a big dip, I will add, because this company is absolutely insane. So watch this for tomorrow. KOSS, this stock spiked up into close and then just absolutely continued ripping in after hours. Spiked as high as 1072, I believe, and then came back down. So I was talking about this, if you're in the Discord, again, you were alerted to this, but I didn't trade this one personally just because I really didn't know how to trade this one. We had someone get in at $7 and sell at like over $9, which is an awesome trade. But this one is one that you want to be watching tomorrow because it has the potential to keep going, man. I mean, look, this is the 1 year resistance. It has just blown it all out of the water already. And my goodness. I mean, I guess if we go here, we can see there's some resistance in this area. So, I mean, depending on what it does, if it breaks over this, 15-ish high, what is that, 1545? If it breaks over this area, man, it's clear skies. It's literally clear skies. And we've seen what stocks have done in this market, so just have this one on your watch list. Definitely one that you want to look for a U-shaped breakout, ABCD, where it spikes up in pre-market and then comes back down, and you can get in here, risk off the low, and then, obviously aim for a break of pre-market highs. So that's what I'm hoping for on that stock. NOK, this is Nokia, and this is that same phone that you used to throw at your little brother when you were mad, and it made him go to the emergency room because it was literally a brick. That never happened to me. I'm just assuming that happened to someone, but these are the types of things that I forget. I mean, these are the indestructible phones, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, please correct me below. Sometimes I'm stupid and I make mistakes. I'm willing to admit that, but I believe that is that stock, and it's going up. It reminds me a lot of all the other stocks that are going up right now that are names we actually know, like AMC, BlackBerry, etc. So this one is on the watch list now. I mean, this one made a nice move today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it does continuing moving forward. Again, BlackBerry is one that has gone insane. I made a video about this, the last video that I made, and I mean, this one gapped up huge today and then continued spiking in pre-market, and then had a little bounce, tested the highs, but kind of rejected, and then now is just consolidating in that area. Could it continue to run? Absolutely, because GameStop, oh my God, I said this could hit 100. This thing blew past and hit 155, 159. That's insane, man. I know a lot of people who made a lot of money on this stock today. I did not trade it at all because this thing is just scary, man. This thing is too choppy to me, and I have zero advantage when I'm trading a stock like this. So stick to what you know. This thing could keep squeezing, or it could just fade on down. So, I mean, if you want to do some lotto puts or call options, go for it, man. You can buy some $50 puts, $40 puts, or buy some. I looked for calls on this one, and when I looked, the highest they had was $110 calls. So maybe that they update it every night, and there's going to be $170 calls. If so, I mean, you could YOLO some of those and just be willing to lose everything, but potentially get a nice return on those. But if not, I mean, I wouldn't touch this because, again, I have no advantage here, and there's a lot of manipulation with the bid and ask. It just moves too quickly for you to be able to really take advantage of. I mean, there were some volatility halts on here. There were some fake out halts where it looked like it was going to halt, and then it didn't halt. So definitely don't just buy in this one blindly and expect to make money because, my goodness, it is scary. AMC, this is also one I talked about yesterday, and it is continuing to spike, man. It's continuing to spike. This thing is already up over 100% from when I talked about it in the Discord. I mean, it just absolutely went crazy. Absolutely went crazy. I think this one is also a sympathy play to GME, if I'm not mistaken, because this is another, Wall Street bets talking about this stock. We're gonna squeeze this stock. There's a lot of shorts on this stock because obviously AMC is struggling because during the pandemic, people couldn't watch movies in movie theaters. It just makes sense. But now the stock's going insane, and potentially it could continue to go wild, depending on what it does. If it holds up these gains, we just have to see. I mean, it opened here, closed down there, and it is now right pretty much where it opened in after hours. I mean, depending on what it does in pre-market, it could continue to spike, so you could YOLO some calls on this as well. You want to YOLO some $6 calls, $7 calls. That could probably pay off really well if it spikes up there. You could make 100, 200%. You could also lose a lot. So there's a lot of risk in options, but typically in stocks like this, I prefer options just because you get a little more volatility. And going in, it's a YOLO play. Let's keep going down. BIOL. This one, honestly, was kind of gross. You look at this is just choppy, man. This is one that I would not trade at this point. I know I talked about it yesterday, but I really wouldn't trade it. BNGO. This continued spiking, man, broke out past 10, and look what it did, man. Went all the way up to 1350, had a nice dip buy opportunity, and then was just trading. Again, this stock is kind of choppy for me, so I'm probably not going to touch it, but some of you guys might want to have it on your watch list. Some of you guys might know how to trade it better than I do. So GEVO, definitely be watching this one. This also had a really nice dip buy, very similar to BNGO actually, and price range is similar. Honestly, everything is similar. It's kind of weird. I don't know if they're twins separated at birth or what's going on with these stocks, but continue to watch this, man, because again, it broke out past this resistance, and it's holding up pretty well. It's holding up pretty well, especially in after hours. So just have to see what it does, but if it's spiking in pre-market, be watching it. AZRX. This stock, it held its gains, and that's pretty much the only reason it's on the watch list. You can see here, it spiked up big and held these gains. So I could see if it breaks past these levels, 263, this thing could absolutely go on a run. You could buy that breakout, honestly. You really could. So just be ready for this. If it starts spiking up tomorrow, be ready to pounce on that opportunity. EXPR, this is another one I talked about yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this one spiked up in after hours, right in after hours, held the gains, and spiked up in pre-market. So this is something that we could potentially see from KOSS, because again, similar thing here, spike up in after hours, and then just, if it spikes up in pre-market, it can continue to run. So that's just the similarity I see there. But yeah, this one also held its gains pretty well today. And again, we've seen so many multi-day runners that you can't count this out. This could be a ZOM, this could be a BNGO. So just be ready for that. If it breaks past these highs in pre-market, look for a dip and rip, etc. ABCD pattern, U-shape breakout, etc. I talk about that all the time, and that's what I'm looking for on this one. TSNP, already talked about that one. DFLYF, this one is just absolutely killer. I believe this is a drone company, and this is up a ton over the last whatever. I'm not even sure how long it's been. But I mean, this was a great swing, and it's still going, man. It's still going. So this one, I wouldn't chase at this point. I would just be looking for dip buys. So if you get a ton of red candles in a row, boom, that's your entry. That's all I'm looking for on this one. At this point, I don't know how high it can go. I mean, it is a nice breakout, but it feels like chasing to me. So if you know how to trade this better than I do, and you feel comfortable chasing, absolutely go for it. Just make sure you manage your risk. Try to get in on a little pullback, and ride that spike. But if it continues to go against you, just cut it, man. It's not worth the risk. BMIX, this one was insane. This was up 465% today. Absolutely wild. So this one obviously is on watch. You see a stock that goes up this much, and again, this is the type of run that I think we could see from MITI at some point. So just be ready for that. But when a stock goes up this much, it can definitely continue. So I mean, this definitely didn't close at the high of the day. It kind of had a downtrend into close, but I mean, it still was. I mean, it held some of the gains. It definitely held some of the gains. So I mean, 465% up on the day is nothing to sneeze at. Achoo. All right, I guess I just sneezed at it, but it's nothing to sneeze at, and because of that, you definitely have to keep this on your watch list. If it spikes up a little bit more, it could definitely have some really good panic opportunities, but otherwise, to me, I'm not really sure a great way to play this besides panic dip buying, because I don't want to chase something that is up 465% already without, getting one of those opportunities. OZSC, oh my God, this one, again, was the perfect overnight setup. I mean, really looked clean. It did go down a little bit into close, But it's good to know now, because I was wondering about that, you know, was this gonna be okay? It had a little dip into close. Well, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, it was okay. And right immediately ripped it open, had a nice panic dip buy. I'm not sure if I hit this one then. I definitely hit this one. Yeah, OZSC, it might have been there. I think it might have been there. Yeah, I don't think I hit this one. I just missed it, but I definitely dip bought here and took some gains. I sold half here and then I sold half over 20. And then it obviously dipped again and it held up. So this could continue to spike. And if it does, man, woo-wee. Be ready for those dip buys. Get out your dip, your Polynesian sauce, get out your fork and knife, because this thing is gonna be absolutely beautiful. You can see it's clean, man. This is why I love OTC. You do not get this clean of a chart in a NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange stock. You don't. And this many green candles in a row is absolutely beautiful. So be watching this one. I'm ready. I mean, maybe it just panics right at the open. You never know. But it could also continue to spike, and the more it spikes, the more room it has to fall, and the better the dip buy is going to be. So be watching for that. SPNW. This one is also fire, man. This is going to have another really good dip buy. Same thing, OTC. And it closed literally right at the high. So this was probably a good overnight. It will probably gap up if I had to guess. And then we'll probably make for a good dip buying opportunity. So literally just be ready for that. Be ready to dip buy this. That's all I'm saying. BONZ, this one had no volume. I'm not sure what the news was, and then it just spiked up. And this was up a good amount, man. This was up a lot. So it could continue to run. I just want to throw this on your watch list because it broke out past these highs right here of 0.0075, and it closed above those highs. So it could definitely continue to run. This one could run a lot more. I mean, there's definitely a lot of room to run. I could see this multiple cent area. So trade with caution, but have this one on your watch list. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, there's so many stocks to be looking at. There's so many opportunities, but dip buying is still the best way. I guess if you guys are interested, I'll talk you through, ABML. Maybe that's another one. That one might not be on the watch list. Yeah, so this one had another beautiful spike and some beautiful panics. When you get this many panics, man, that is a dip buying opportunity, man. That's a dip buying opportunity. So be looking for this one as well. That one should have been on the watch list. I'll add that to the watch list now. I dip bought this one on one of these and just made a few bucks. I was being too cautious. It might have been there. I might have gotten stopped out there, or, you know, I was too cautious. And, well, I guess not too cautious. I mean, I took profits and then it kept going against me. I think it might have been on this dip here that was a little bit choppier. So it's not always going to be this clean, you know, red, green, but, you know, you take what you can get, man. And then DPLS, this is one that I bought here, planning on overnighting it. I bought it here right at the break of 1 cent, and I alerted that in Discord, and then it went all the way up to 1.1 cents, so that's a 10% gain in like 5 minutes. And there was a lot of selling here, so I sold half at 109 and I sold half at 104. But it still held up pretty well. So honestly, this could continue to gap up. Maybe I should have just held half overnight, but I'm not sure. Definitely want to see what this one does tomorrow. So that should also be on the watch list. And yes, that is it. That is all the stocks I have. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you made it to the end, really appreciate you. You are my brother-in-law. We're not married, but you're my brother-in-law. That's how I feel. Or sister-in-law. I don't want to count you guys. I know it's 90% men who view my video. 90% men. So there's probably like 5 women who made it to the end. One of them's my mom. Thank you. But anyways, yeah, that is it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, let's grow better together. Preguntar, bebé, dime por qué te mientes. No puedes esconder todo lo que tú por mí sientes.